YouTube, Spare 76. I'm using the crappy camera with the crappy mic, and the picture's probably not going to be awesome, but I just wanted to talk. I've been away for a long time. Colorado. Beautiful Colorado. I loved it. I met people there. Wow. Some real strength in Colorado. I really got to see what it was like to live at a high altitude with MS, and I learned how to say I have MS again. It was hard for me to say that. I have multiple sclerosis. It was hard to say. I would meet people and I would give them a band that said, go for the jugular, angioplasty for all, and I would talk about venoplasty, and talk about, Dr. Zamboni, Dr. Putnam, and anybody who would listen to me, I would talk about CCSVI. And I missed something there. Talking about CCSVI, I forgot that there were a lot of people with MS, CCSVI, MS-like diseases maybe haven't even been diagnosed yet to know if it's Lyme disease or whatever. And I started to feel this horrible guilt that I wasn't helping the people around me. I was hiding out, up in my mountain paradise, running around, enjoying my life. And I forgot a lot of things, I forgot the people that held me up, when I was really down on YouTube. And I'm basically making this video for you guys to say, I'm sorry. I don't think these videos are informational at all, because people do their own research. Somebody sent a thing about vaccines, and I have researched vaccines so much, because I used to have to coordinate vaccines for children. So I know all about the mercury things and the links to autism that they were talking about, and also know that, it's a necessary thing for a healthcare professional to be immunized, because you don't want to be a typhoid Mary to your patients. So, we all get caught up on our thing that we're touting, like CCSVI, it's the cure-all. And I'm telling you guys, it worked. It really did. And I'm saying this after coming off steroids. I just recently had a flare-up that was different than any other flare-up that I've ever had, because it affected my ability to think critically, to really focus, concentrate. There was a lot of anxiety with it. And I'm an anxious person anyway. It's what gives me this energy, this boundless energy that I have sometimes. But I didn't like it. It was too much. And it kind of, came to me that spiritually, the things I learned in Colorado were keeping me healthy. As much as the CCSVI. I was out in the sun, a mile closer to the sun, and I was enjoying my life for the first time since they told me you have those 2 letters. And I was living my life and loving my life and embracing my spirit and my body, and knowing that my body's nothing. My body's just my body. My legs are useless unless I use them to help other people. My arms are useless unless I use them to hold someone who needs help. This mouth that I'm always running, it's useless unless I use it to tell you, I love you. You're worth it. You feel like you're not worth it. You feel like I'm a waste of society, I can't work. My kids look at me with pity. That was the whole reason to make videos. Not to push Tysabri, not to push CCSVI or Copaxone or any of the crap that they're telling us to take. We are sick because we are sick. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Yes, vitamin D, I see the link now. When I came back to a normal altitude, which, by the way, if you cut your finger up in the mountains, you will bleed for a long time. It thins your blood pretty good. And my blood flow was awesome in Colorado. My blood flow was phenomenal. And when I came back to Indiana, it was almost like I could almost feel blood coagulating in my jugular vein. As soon as I got through Missouri, on the way home, I was like, oh man. But I can tolerate heat. I can jump for joy. And I couldn't before if I'd had an exacerbation. I mean, I had IV steroids all over. I mean, 3 1-gram infusions. I'm on the taper now. Yeah, it's for some people will say that's not a glowing recommendation for CCSVI. In fact, the biggest mouth of all the CCSVI proponents, look at him now. Well, I haven't changed my tune, kids, not at all. In fact, it's confirmed to me just how important the blood is, how important the blood flow is. People with MS are very anxious, very sad people, because our bodies have decided to betray us. And that sadness sinks in real deep, real deep. And you can have all the angioplasties in the world, stem cells. You can have cure your MS, but you're going to be sick if you're going to be sick. That's just the way it is. Some of us were meant to be sick. Some of us were meant to be sick and be miserable for a while. Some of us were meant to be sick and show the world, you can't hold me down for long. You can make fun of me, but I'll get back up. You can say, I'm a know-it-all, and I'll tell you, my greatest wisdom is foolishness. Foolishness. Obedience and humility is what MS is teaching me. MS is teaching me what I need to learn in this life. MS is my cross to bear. It always has been. It always will be. Will I go for another angioplasty? Sure. I mean, who doesn't like being able to run and play with their kids? Will I fight with an MS brother or sister over CCSVI ever again? No. Will I be mean-spirited towards someone who criticizes my stand on something? No. MS isn't killing you. It's the love that you don't have in your heart that's killing you. That's it. It took MS to thaw out this frozen heart, to bring me back to life, to show me that life is for living. I walk around every day and I see people who are dead with perfect legs. I see people who can think clearly that are dead. There was a news story about these parasites attacking these bees, turning them into zombies. And it was like the zombies weren't behaving normally. They were just kind of like lurching around. And it resonated with me. This oppressive parasite on their back, toward their, even these bees' bodies are betraying them. These bees are dead, but they're moving. That's what MS feels like. My leg's dead, but I could move it. That was the best analogy I've ever seen for multiple sclerosis, was a zombie bee. And it was like, if I told someone who hadn't had MS, it's kind of like you got this thing on your back, all right, and it's taken over your neurological system. And basically, you're at its mercy. If your leg wants to go this way, it'll go that way. If your leg wants to buckle, guess where you're going? Dune, baby. You're going dune. And I've been inspired by you guys on YouTube while I've been away. I've been inspired by my brothers and sisters. And it transcends anything that separates us. Religion or politics or what you like to eat, or if you think diet's good, or if you believe in farming, or if you think no, carbs aren't bad, or whatever. That's just stupid stuff that gets in the way. It gets in the way of the love. When this MS community was thriving on YouTube was when people were actually falling in love with other people who were in pain. that was what this was for. It wasn't to hear myself talk. It wasn't to make me look smart, because I'm not smart. I'm just a patient. I'm an MS patient. I have a little bit of, background with, medical things, but I'm no, I'm no Paolo Zamboni. I'm no Tracy Putnam. I'm no pioneer. I'm no rebel, radical who will think outside the box and show compassion to people like that. I show compassion the only way I know how to, is to love them, is to love you, and mean it. And that's it. That's what my videos were supposed to be about. I was wasting my time. Okay? I'm done wasting my time. This video, I'm dedicating it to the caregivers of anyone with MS. Not my MS family with the disease, but my MS family that holds up the people with the disease. I'm talking about the human crutches. I'm talking about the human wet wipes. And we don't see the toll that it takes on them to see their father wet his pants, or their mother defecate on herself, or to see a nurse come in, a home health care nurse, and go to change a porta-cath and start to do it a way that the family member doesn't like, and the family member says, hey, my family member would prefer it this way, and the nurse looks at the caregiver and says, well, there's more than one way to skin a cat. That's what I'm here to get rid of. We're not skinning cats, people. We're not playing games. This is our life. We're crying out for our very lives. We're begging for our lives. Now I ask you, governments of the world, pharmaceutical companies, people peddling your wares on YouTube, what do you care about? The bottom line? Or these caregivers that sacrifice their lives for those that they love? That's true love. And true love waits. And true love holds on. And true love has hope. And true love will never die. And MS will never, ever have me. God bless you. And thank you.